Yo, what's the deal? I'm LATWAN. And what is abundance? Abundance could be a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Mainly when you hear of abundance, the first thing you think, well, at least I know what I think, is money. You know what I'm saying? That's the simplest thing that usually abundance come down to is, money to the average way of thinking about abundance. But abundance could be a lot of things. It's a big spectrum to abundance. You know what I'm saying? If you really know what it is, like if you really pay attention to life, like everything is abundant. You know what I'm saying? If you walk outside and you really realize where you are, you really just take this moment in and realize where you are, where you reside, and all that kind of stuff. It's abundant. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you not do? What is really holding you back besides yourself? Nothing. So therefore you live in a state of abundance. It's just that a lot of us, we don't have the mentality to get that abundance because we box ourselves in. We think it's, particular stuff like the white man, and uh, it's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not even gonna go down that list because people are sensitive about that. So I'm not even gonna talk about that. But that's just the main thing is what people always talk about in 2020 about the white man stopping people from doing stuff. But that's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother topic. But it just goes back into having the abundance mindset, man. Like it's an abundance mindset to me is kind of like the equivalent of a winner's mindset. Because when you have a winner's mindset, you're more so in the mindset of, say you do lose something, you don't take it as an actual loss. You take it as an actual lesson. Like, that's a cliche. A lot of people use that. A lot of people say it, but they don't really. I don't think a lot of people really understand what it means to take a loss and view it as a lesson instead of taking a loss and sitting in those emotions that you feel. But you will still feel those emotions. You're not going to detach yourself from the human emotions that you feel when you have the loss. It's just the mindset that comes. Like, your mindset is going to be different. So if you lose something with an abundant mindset, it's that something else is going to come back to you, and that it's a lot out there. You know what I'm saying? That you don't put stake and invest into one whole thing. You're because basically when you do that, you're in a scarcity mindset. When you're a person that like to hold on to stuff and you possessive and stuff like that, it's just because you're in a scarcity mindset, and you don't, from my understanding of it, you're not just letting life flow and what comes and what goes. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't make nothing stay, and this pertains to anything. It has nothing, just one particular thing about what comes and goes. This pertains to anything in life. Money, friends, family, relationships, bro, anything, emotions, anything. So when you have an abundant mindset, when you thinking in abundance, you understand that about life. So therefore, when you having one of these times where you feeling bad, you know what I'm saying, or you feeling like you took an L or you lost something or somebody or something like that, in the back of your mind, instead of you beating yourself down about it, you knowing that you're going to come out of it better, because that you have an abundant mindset. You don't feel like you have to hold on to what has been lost. Therefore, you take what has been quote unquote lost and you make it a lesson, instead of harping on it, harping on those emotions. That's kind of like the equivalent of a person always talking about what happened in their past relationships and why they this and why they that. That's a whole nother video as well. So I'm not really gonna go into that wormhole about that stuff. But just having an abundance mindset, it'll fix all of that, man. Like, you want the stress that you feel, you still gonna feel those emotions. But that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize, and that's what I didn't realize when I learned this stuff. It was just like, okay, I learned this stuff, but it's like, okay, I still didn't understand how to like incorporate it into life. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, okay, I'm still feeling these emotions. Because initially, for some reason, I guess just because I really don't know, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, my mindset was if I started moving like this, I'm not gonna have these emotions no more, or I'm not gonna feel like that no more. Which was just, now that I look back on it, it was dumb, but that's just how I felt at the moment, But it was just because I didn't understand basically the concept of what they were really trying to get people to understand, with this abundance type of stuff. When you're looking at life through an abundance lens and not a scarcity lens. But it was just, like I said, I thought that I was just gonna be completely disconnected as far as emotionally, like stuff could happen, anything, a nail in the car, a small dent in the car, anything, you feel just ridiculous, extreme type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just going extreme with the stuff just is ridiculous. I don't understand. I think that's just how the mind works, and you gotta will it back because it didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like now that I'm back to reality and my way of how I look at reality, like how I was thinking then, it's like, bro, you was like too extreme with it. You're not really understanding what's there because you're trying to go too extreme. So like, cause it's almost like that's kind of like how they say there's two sides to a coin. It's basically like the same. Like when you trying to learn the abundance mentality, you actually probably go overdrive into scarcity, and I think it's just a balancing factor. You know what I'm saying? And how I don't even know how I even got right there, but oh well, we're gonna keep rolling. But you just gotta fix that abundance mind. You have to fix that scarcity mindset. I think the scarcity mindset is the biggest thing that we have as far as an individual being. Like I'm not even speaking for civilizations and stuff like that. Because if you can't fix yourself, you for sure can't fix a civilization. So you need to focus on yourself first before you try to focus on talking about you want to build a civilization, or you want to get in a group. You don't need to get in no group, bro. If you don't even understand your own triggers, you know what I'm saying. That's just what it is. So that's just how I view it. You know what I'm saying. The abundance mindset is more free, and I'm gonna say this though. It's a trap kind of with that abundance mindset because sometimes your ego, you'll kind of like go too far with it. Like I was just talking about how people become extremists and stuff like that, and you start having an abundance mindset that you could just do anything and at any time you want to because you living in abundant and all that, fairy tale. Okay, you know what I'm saying. Do what thou wilt. You know what I'm saying. But just make sure that you ready for those repercussions because it's definitely a harmony. You got to harmonize the abundance mindset because you can go too extreme with that. Just like you can go too extreme with having a scarcity mindset. But that's